Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought it was a perfect time to share some weight loss news, with Mounjaro, zepbound, Tirzepitide weight loss. I mean, finally, after ups and downs the past couple of weeks and just some struggles to even lose a pound, I finally got myself back on track. By the way, I'm Jen, and if you're new here, I make Mounjaro, Tirzepitide weight loss content along with, some fitness and healthy habits and just a little bit of everything in between. I really hope you take some time to subscribe today. And since in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I lost 6 pounds in 2 weeks, I just want to do a quick disclaimer: talk to your doctor before embarking on a weight loss journey. And in no way am I saying this is better than slow weight loss. I have some videos that I've done where, my weight loss has slowed down over the months and, or just really none at all in August. So go ahead and check those out. But something clicked, something inspired me at the beginning of September. And I think with the summer in the rearview mirror, I no longer wanted to slack on my weight loss goals because let me tell you, even though I was consistent with my workouts, I felt like I was sleeping really well, I kept my stress relatively low, I don't think I was as consistent as I would have liked with my eating. And I'm still learning to have that healthy balance in, what I'm eating. I'm learning what's fueling my body the best. And because, I could easily sit here and say that I did everything right and question why I'm not losing weight. But in reality, that would be such a lie. I don't mind having a couple treats a month, but not a couple times in a week, because it's all about finding that happy medium, that balance. And especially Labor Day weekend, I went a little crazy, with some desserts and higher calorie foods. I think I did that because I knew that I was starting the 75 hard challenge and I was going to have some strict times ahead. But I was really shocked that I put on like 3 or 4 pounds over like 4 or 5 days. And if you want to check out my other videos on my prior weight loss, I have one where I lost 15.2 pounds in the first month while taking Mounjaro, and then I also lost 42 pounds in 3 months. And I'm slowly working on just kind of like a bigger recap video, talking about my 1.5 years on Mounjaro, with my weight loss journey. But I still have a couple weeks before I'm even at that milestone. But I have a couple tips for you today of how I was able to achieve this weight loss, 6 pounds in 2 weeks. And I went into it with the mindset that it's a sprint, not a marathon. And usually I say the complete opposite, but I made a commitment to myself to lose the weight. And I needed to kick things into overdrive. And I needed to have that little sense of urgency, but also in the back of my mind say, don't go too extreme. But I wanted to put it all on the table. I wanted to make some drastic cuts where was needed, from like intensity of workouts and really what I was eating. This means being strict with everything, no messing up with alcohol. There is none of that. You really have to make sure that you are prioritizing all the goals that you put into place. That means, you're only drinking water. You're cutting out food, say by like 7 p.m. In my case, at one point I upped it to 6 p.m. because I could. Whenever you're trying to lose weight in a smaller amount of time, there's really no space for eating cookies, foods with a ton of added sugar. You got to cut out those fast, convenient foods. And we'll get into a little bit of the diet, but I wanted to take a minute to talk about Lumen, which is one of the tools that I've been using, for the first 2 weeks of this 75 hard challenge. And I wanted to use it because I wanted to make sure I wasn't putting my body in a stress state and I was switching between, fat burn and carb burn at the right time of the day. But I wanted to talk about it because I know you keep hearing me say something about this product called Lumen. And I want to just first say that I reached out to them because I'm always thinking about that next phase of my weight loss journey, and then eventually the maintenance. And I am still a little worried that I'm not fueling my body myself properly. So when I read that Lumen can give me a tailored recommended diet based off of its analysis of my breath and can reveal, say, like your body's fuel source, it can kind of guide you to metabolic health. I was like, I really want to try this out. And there was a learning curve at first, but I was like everything else, you got to take it slow. I watched some videos, I read all the documents they offered, And then, once again, in the beginning of September this month, I was like, I'm ready to go 100%. And what I've learned so far is that, when I was going into my strength training sessions, sometimes 4 times a week, I really wasn't fueling my body properly and I was stressed. As soon as I started incorporating a better pre-workout snack, my workouts greatly improved. And, I'm burning carbs prior and after the workouts, which is exactly what I want. And it wasn't happening before. And, after analyzing my morning readings, I had to make a couple changes in the evening to help put my body in a state of fat burn while sleeping. Before this device, I was kind of just winging it and learning as I go and just hoping I was doing everything okay. But, I want to say, this has really helped me lose weight, build the muscle that I want, and it's helping me prevent muscle breakdown and, maximize my performance, because I made these changes and I felt like the weight on the scale was finally starting to go down after a couple weeks. And the goal was, and the goal still is, to get my metabolism more flexible so that I'm not just only burning fat, which is what you don't want day in and day out. But if you want to check out Lumen, I'm going to put a link in the description. I have a discount code, but the reason I'm talking about it is I feel like I'm loving the insights, and it's not this one size fits all approach to eating. But let me get back to the first topic, which is your diet. And I'm sorry I have to say this, but if you're not losing weight, like say you're in a stall or a weight loss plateau, or you're looking to lose 6 pounds in 2 weeks, your diet really needs to be clean. And for some of you in the early stages of taking Mounjaro or zepbound, Tirzepitide, there are times where you're going to be able to get away with eating the complete opposite of what I am saying. But trust me, there will be a time where everything that you've done in the past stops working. And that's where I always say to be prepared to make some of these changes, especially these drastic changes to your eating for a little bit. You just have to clean up your eating. And I'm going to help you guys out, because in the last 2 weeks, I said no alcohol, no added sugar, no inflammatory seed oils, no pre-made processed protein shakes, nothing ultra processed. I did a little next to no processed foods, really just trying to do whole real foods. Now, that doesn't mean you're doing this forever, but if you're trying to maximize weight loss, you have to make these changes. I also cut out my favorite tortillas at dinner. I found a new favorite, don't worry. But I also was putting my taco meat in lettuce wraps, a great alternative. And I basically moved 90% of my carbs to breakfast, lunch, and a pre-workout snack, because I wanted to be very strategic with what I was eating, when I was eating it, and how I was feeling. I even started to take a closer look at my fiber. We hear so much about how important fiber is. And I started adding basil seeds to my smoothie. I started slowly, because 2 tablespoons of basil seeds has 15 grams of fiber. Hence why I say, please start slowly. I don't even taste that they're in there. I'm going to link them below. They're Zen basil seeds. I got them from Amazon. And I'm going to have to say, I also planned out, the full 2 weeks before I even started, so that I just didn't have any issues jumping into this. And I can honestly say by day 3, I was starting to feel the benefits. Each morning I would wake up, get, ready to take on the day. And, even when I was thinking about it, the day after my shot, you typically feel fatigued. I had none of that. And that is what surprised me the most. And I felt like feeling a little bit rewarded by this. Now, I'm not saying it has been easy. It takes some planning, being prepared for the days that, I had to go into the office, or I was a little bit limited with my prep time. But my body has really embraced this eating change. And I feel like I got used to it rather quickly. And having Lumen guide me with my macros each day, they were all slightly different each day, and I think that helped me drastically. Also, my cravings seem to have diminished. I struggled for weeks leading up to this, and I could feel some of that food noise start to make its way, into my day. And I did cave a couple times, but now I rarely think about, those foods. And, I'm thinking about my new favorite lunch and my fruit smoothie that I love to make. And this became a daily habit, and I'm going to try to continue it through the 75 hard challenge. And I may not be as strict with 1 or 2 things, but right now I just feel really great, the past 2 weeks. And another tip is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting can be your best friend. Now, there are many, many ways to do intermittent fasting. I am still learning, and I'm still learning my fasting window. I'm more strict with, cut off at evening versus in the morning when I start to eat. But when I get up in the morning, I have to wait an hour anyway because I take thyroid medicine before I can eat. But I really focus on trying to stop eating probably before 6 p.m. That's my window. But it also all depends on when I'm done at the gym and I get home. But after that, that's it. I cut it off, nothing else. I'll drink my water. And I'm just going to try to ride it out till bedtime. I take my dog for a little walk at night, get a couple steps in while doing that. I do the dishes. I organize for the next day, read a couple pages of my book. And when I get up in the morning and you're intermittent fasting, I think you feel less bloated because I could feel my stomach getting a tad flatter, not abs yet, but I feel like doing intermittent fasting has really helped me, shed some pounds because I was a night snacker and I'm not anymore. But the key is finding that fasting window, which is another reason why I did get Lumen in the first place. Because I will have to say, I did a reading in the morning and it was a 1 or 2, which means I was burning fat, which is great. So I can extend my fasting window. Took another reading like 30 minutes to an hour later. And I was like, ooh, I'm a high 3. I need to eat something. And, that's the same thing. The other day was really cool because I was like, okay, I blew a 2 in it. I'm going to wait a little bit, did a bunch of things before I break my fast, did the reading, and now I'm a 4. I was like, oh, whoa, pushed my window too far. And I was like, I've got to eat. So I'm learning like the right time to eat in the morning, which is really, really great. But it helps me get into that intermittent fasting rhythm. And then the next tip is to increase the intensity of your workouts. That could mean if you're walking, I love to walk. I walk every single day, maybe faster walking intervals, look for hills, get a weighted vest, something to get your heart rate up a little bit. Try to get a little bit out of your comfort zone and maybe increase your weight if you're doing resistance training. Maybe try to train to failure, pop in a spin class, jump rope, Pilates. I looked at my fitness data and I realized I rarely did any workouts that fell into a moderate intensity category. And I need to have a minimum heart rate of 115. And my walks and I didn't really do strength training tracking, but my walks were like 100. And so because I wasn't tracking during strength training, I'm going to start doing this because having this information can really make sure that I'm burning some of those extra calories. And another tip, very, very simple tip, keep yourself busy. Find some distractions. Maybe drive to the trail on the weekend to go for a nice walk. Pick up a hobby or, I grabbed a book called Clean Eating and I'm learning about, what I should be eating, for my health, and just try to avoid being bored, which we all know can make us eat. Go sit outside for an hour, get some fresh air, some sunlight, walk around a store, look for some new clothes, organize your closet, do some cleaning. I finally tackled my to-do list that I've been putting aside for months. Just keep yourself busy. And also now that it's football season, try to learn some healthy snacks to have on hand. That doesn't mean everyone else is gotta eat your vegetables and dips. And, I say just be focused on yourself and no one else. Bring or make things that you want. Which leads me to say that if you're a FOMO eater, like you have the fear of missing out what others are eating, that gets old really quick. Just because someone is eating a big cheeseburger and fries doesn't mean you have to do the same. Just focus on yourself and your goals. As long as you're happy, that is all that matters. And most don't even care what you're eating if you're eating something slightly different than them. And if they do, that is sad. And I'm really, really sorry you have to deal with that. Just keep focusing on yourself. And here we are with the very last tip. And I really want you all to hear this one. This is the most important thing during this I guess you could say your entire weight loss journey. Listen to your body. Always listen to your body. Do not hurt yourself trying to lose weight. Do not get stressed if you need to, break your no food rule after 6 or 7 p.m. because you're feeling a little bit depleted. Now, that doesn't mean, hop in the car and go get a large pizza or a large fry. Doesn't mean grab a bag of chips, but if you really are hungry, make yourself a healthy snack. Because when I start feeling hungry, the first thing I do is I drink water. But during my Mounjaro weight loss journey, I've really, really started to learn the difference between what is real hunger versus boredom hunger. I can really tell the difference now because I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit more in tune with my body. Most of the time I'll grab an apple, orange, handful of nuts, a cottage cheese, some veggies. I always have some healthy things on hand to quickly grab. And, you know, I also say if you have a big workout, add a little something to your dinner to kind of help fuel yourself for afterwards. I add a simple serving of potatoes or half a cup of rice because I always know my body needs it, but that doesn't happen overnight. That took some months for me to get comfortable adjusting based on, you know, how I was feeling. But don't hurt yourself, you know, or reverse the progress that you've made up until this point. It is not worth it. And I'm going to just kind of leave it with that. But just remember, eat cleanly, drink your water, listen to your body, get up and move more, a little more intensity. I really enjoy doing these videos. And as you know, I keep trying and get closer to my weight loss goal and progress through 75 hard. I'm learning more about maximizing weight loss on Mounjaro, now Tirzepitide, and I want to keep providing these updates. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can follow along with my journey. I want to say I don't plan on being this strict once I hit my goal, but there's going to be a time or two when I'm maybe in maintenance. I may have to rewatch this and remind myself that, you know, making some changes that I just chatted about can have a major impact on my weight loss. But I love talking to you guys, bringing you into my life, you know, more often. And just hopefully I can have an impact on your weight loss journey like so many people on YouTube have for me as well. But I'm going to be doing a new what I eat in a day video showing you, you know, just a day of some of the meals that I ate to help me lose the 6 pounds in 2 weeks. But make sure you check out my last video. I did a grocery haul, my first ever grocery haul. And I had some cleaner products in there that helped kind of push my weight loss and increase it a little bit more. But, you know, reminder, if you want to check out Lumen, I put the link in the description below. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about it because I'm still learning so much. But I will see you in my next video. Everybody have a great day. Bye.